I think we're going to go ahead. Linda seems to be delayed. So we all stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while. We're here today for a special one-item agenda, and that is to concur with the town manager's appointment for a new director for the senior and social services. And so with that, I'll turn it over to whoever of you wants to introduce our candidate.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Thank you. So in your packet, I gave you a little bit of background information. Kendra Faldetta, seated to my left, is the candidate that was selected. I reminded the council, we had a two-step interview process. I think the first interview panel had 7 individuals on it. The second panel had 8 individuals, and 5 of your members were represented during the process. So through all that, we did not scare Kendra off. She actually comes to us. She is currently in neighboring Northborough and has been there since May of 2022. So we are very excited that she is coming on board with us. What I wanted to do was give Kendra a few minutes to just provide a little bit of background, just talk about herself, and then in your packet, hopefully you had a chance. If not, I can get hard copies. Kendra did a nice one-page flyer introducing herself to the community ahead of her start date. So I don't want to steal all your thunder, but please take a few minutes.
Sure. So my name is Kendra. I actually have a very unique sort of municipal career. I started with the town of Webster as an intern at the senior center. When I was getting my bachelor's degree in public health, we had to find some sort of internship that related to public health in some way. I had an interest in working with older adults that's lifelong, but I didn't necessarily know what a senior center was. So when it came down to that internship, I decided that that was the path I was going to go down, and I reached out to the communities around me. Webster got back to me, and after about 6 months there as an intern, they liked me enough. They hired me the day after I graduated from college. So I graduated on a Sunday and I started there full-time on a Monday, which is not usually how municipal employees end up where they are. But I was very lucky. I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, when COVID hit, that senior center did close down. So I was helping, but we weren't really doing too much. We were doing phone calls and meal deliveries, but it wasn't a lot of seeing people. So I had explored my options, and I applied to the Millbury Senior Center director, and I was their program coordinator, which was sort of functioning as their assistant director. And after about 3 months being there, their director was put on leave, so I was made the interim director. I stayed there until I went to Northborough, where I've been for 3 years as the director. I am very lucky in that I found a job that I really like and that really suits me when I was young, and I've sort of been able to do that, and so I'm very happy to be joining this community. I think I have a pretty good sense just being next door of Westborough, but I'm really excited to learn more, to get to know everybody, to introduce myself. I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you. Those of you that were on the committee, do you have anything you'd like to say, to add about Kendra's?
Well, you're looking straight at me, so I
Well,
guess
I know you were one of the people that I know was on the committee.
Yeah, so Kendra, I just want you to know, I was so impressed with the way you handled yourself on the interview. And I think you're going to bring a lot to the senior center, and I'm very happy that you're going to be joining us.
I really am happy to be here. I'm really looking forward to it.
Good.
Well, I was on the first round when we really were paring it down, and I think Kendra just stood out. Just, it was like for me, it was easy.
But I was on the second round,
Yes.
and I was also very impressed, especially with her 90-day transition plan, how she plans to hold meet and greets to get to know people in the community, to put out flyers which might help people who don't have computers. And I believe you did read the Boston University
Yes.
survey that was done, seems like eons ago.
It was.
So she knows the kinds of things that were requested that have not been put in place yet. So I was also very impressed.
I was on the first round. And I'm so glad you're here. I was very impressed as well. And my mind was made up after I had the interview with you. I know you mentioned a few of the initiatives you've done before, and one of them was the Lego program.
Yeah.
Could you just expand a little bit on that for the others that didn't hear?
Oh, yeah. So I'm sure most people in here know what Legos are. They're sort of, they span generations. Kids play with them, adults play with them. In Northborough, every year, the last day of school, every year since I've been there, there's been sort of a carnival at one of the parks where it is open to the public and it's something that's meant for everyone, but it really is targeted towards children, it being the last day of school, and the events that are offered are definitely more geared towards young children and families. So the first 2 years, I went and participated with information about the senior center, and I didn't really get a lot of attention because there weren't many seniors that were there, so the people weren't very interested in talking with me. So the third year, I decided instead of going with that approach, I was going to try to make it educational so that the kids could learn about older adults and the senior center in a sort of relevant way. So what I did was I ordered individual Lego pieces to make little characters. Some of them had wrinkles, glasses, hearing aids, white hair, different signs of aging, and it was really interesting. We had some that looked like little kids with, freckles and braces. We had sort of a whole spectrum of these little Lego characters that you could build. So each kid picked a face, hair, a torso, and legs. And it was really interesting because some of the kids were building them and they were like, oh, this one has white hair, this kind of looks like my grandmother. And that was an opportunity to say, yeah, isn't that great? We are all different, you never really know what you're gonna get. But it was a way to talk about aging, and yes, this Lego guy is just as special because he has a hearing aid. It doesn't really mean anything. He's still a very important part of our community, and we all look different, and we are all different. And so with that, I combined a reading list that was for all ages. So there was resources for children, teenagers, adults, as well as caregivers, and it was different things like aging positively. There were some resources. There was one book that sticks out. It's called Nana's Garden, and it's about a girl and her grandmother, and her grandmother has some memory issues, and how the little girl feels about it, and sort of the lessons that she learns with that. So there was a whole reading list made for all ages that were going to be participating. We had bookmarks that I made that the kids could color in their Lego figure, and they said, I think everyone is different and different is awesome. And so they were able to sort of take those home with the reading list, and hopefully we're going to read some of the books that we had. So that was sort of my
Very nice, very good.
thank you.
I just thought the others would like to hear something like that.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Anyone else have any other comments or questions? I've got one. I know you're going to talk to each one of us to get to know us and all, but in general, and I don't know how Northborough Council is organized, but what's your expectation of how to work with us as a council?
So, at least in Northborough, and I'm happy to adjust my approach for how it works best for you guys, is I would give a director's report every month, and that would include pictures of the activities. It would have statistics like this many people came in for programs, this many people rode the bus, there were this many outreach appointments, etc. And that way you guys at least have a jumping off point. You know who came in, who came out, what sort of some of the general outcomes were. I usually will ask the outreach coordinator to write up a report about one person that we've been helping at the senior center, obviously with no names or personal information, but just to give you guys a sense of the work that we're doing. And then with that, I like to hear back from the Council on Aging ideas, if you guys have suggestions for programs that you think people would like to see, as well as if you feel that there are things that aren't working out that well, or you hear from the people that are coming here, you know, I really like coming to bingo, but I can't see the board, so it's not enjoyable. Different ways to go about my job. I also think that the Council on Aging is a really good advocate for the needs of the older adults in the community and the senior center. We have in Northborough sort of bettered our relationship with Springwell, which is the same elder services organization here, and we've done that. We've invited the CEO to the Council on Aging meetings. We've asked for better statistics and reporting, and through having the Council on Aging push for that, have been able to get a better relationship with Springwell and have better resources getting out to the community.
Thank you. One of the best things, having someone from Northborough here, you don't know how many times we've had to question that, well, how does Northborough do it? Now we'll answer that question.
Well, I do meet Westborough people in Northborough.
And they're all over. Yesterday, I was talking to one of our regulars here that was telling me about Ashland, Hopkinton, and Northborough, places that they go for this, for that, and different things, because, you know, everybody can't do everything. And so it's good, actually, to have senior centers that are specialists in certain areas, if you will, and people like to travel. And to go around gives them an opportunity to see others as well. But this is a case where Northborough has always been our #1 go-to for many residents here. And
Hopefully that changes and everyone starts coming here.
I'd like to ask a question, since you did read the survey. Did you have an idea of how that could be, the results could be applied to coming here? Did you have any idea of how you would approach it?
I first read that survey when this job wasn't even open, and it was something more that we in Northborough saw, and we're like, oh my, we would love to have something like this. This is, you know, evidence-based, saying that better housing is needed, that staffing is needed. It was like addressing the things that are needed in the community in a way that the public could read, and I thought that it was really good. It's always good to have something like that as a jumping off point, and to see on paper what people are actually looking for, that they're looking for different programming, and that there are more outreach needs that aren't being met. It's nice to at least have a baseline. Obviously, you know, it's not 100% all of the time, and you can't make those changes overnight, but I think it's really important to have sort of a metric for what people are looking for, and I think it shows, you know, what can be done better.
I wonder if we could go around, for those of us who haven't met Kendra, just we can tell her who we are.
Oh.
And we won't give you a test on names.
Give me like a couple of months and I should be good, but it might take me a little while to get there.
I'm John, I can.
John.
Bob Washburn. And I just want to make one point. I know that when before we were looking for a new senior center director, we were taken on a trip by whoever wanted to go to various senior centers as we were looking for ideas for our own new building. And one of the towns that we visited was Northborough. And we were and we had lunch, as I recall. And several people at my table said, gee, that young woman is great, wish we could get her.
Oh, that's funny. I know you're here.
Anecdote occurred at my table at lunch. And so when I saw your name appear a week or so ago, and I looked at it, I said, yeah, I think that's the same person. So thanks for coming.
Well, thank you.
I'm Guido Leonardo.
I'm Nancy Fallon. I'm Martha Leslie.
Daryl Sunino. Bill Lynch.
Bill Lynch, go ahead, Bill
I
Lynch.
read your resume, good job.
Yeah, thank you. Paula Zecco.
Marilyn Taylor, I've seen you at Westborough.
Yes.
Diane Collins.
All right, is there anything else? Okay, so I guess we're ready for a motion? Somebody make the motion to concur with the town manager's
Also moved.
appointment?
Pick one.
I move that we concur with the town manager's appointment. Is it appointment?
Yep.
To appoint Kendra Faldetta as the Senior and Social Services Director for Westborough.
A second?
I second.
Got a lot of seconds.
Everybody seconded it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None in opposition.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Great.
See you guys soon.
We know what we want.
And Kendra, I'm sorry if I didn't say this in the beginning, Kendra's planning to start on Monday, the 17th.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll have a party.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, right. It's already
Just a
planned.
little something.
A little something for you.
Kendra, how's your wrist?
So I go back to the doctor Thursday and I should be free to go then. So I should come here with no restrictions.
We're done?
Yeah, you can adjourn.
So, motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Diane seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, I don't think we done.